Right then, pop the kettle on, grab your favorite mug, and let's get cracking. Today, we're going to make sense of Agile project management. But don't worry, we're leaving all the complicated jargon at the door. Instead, we're heading straight into the kitchen to see how a simple recipe can help us manage even the most confusing projects. Okay, let's get into it.
First things first, let's set the scene a little. We're about to meet a team who, well, like a lot of teams, they have the best intentions, but their project is turning into a bit of a sticky wicket.
Sound familiar? You've got this brilliant idea, you've got a great team, but somehow it's all gone a bit pear-shaped. The plan's a muddle, nobody's quite sure what they should be doing next, and the whole thing just feels like, well, a complete dog's dinner. So let me introduce you to the Kentish Kitchen team. They're a talented bunch, honestly. Their goal is to build the perfect cuppa app. You know, an app to help all us tea lovers brew the absolute perfect cup. The only problem is, they don't really know what the finished app should look like, and they're not sure how to get there. They are, as the project models say, walking in a fog. They desperately need a guiding light.
And this is where Scrum comes in. Now, don't think of Scrum as some huge, intimidating instruction manual. The official Scrum guide itself calls it a lightweight framework. A better way to think about it is like a really simple, trusted recipe book. It's not going to tell you exactly how to chop your carrots, but it gives you the essential steps and a solid structure to create something amazing, especially when you're dealing with a really complex bake.
All right, so as you know, every good bake starts with checking what ingredients you've actually got. In the world of Scrum, that means it's time to stock and organize our project's larder.
And that larder is what we call the product backlog. Now, the official definition calls it an emergent, ordered list of what is needed to improve the product. But for our Kentish Kitchen team, it's just their larder. It's the one place that holds every single thing they could possibly put into their perfect cuppa app. We're talking everything from a tea timer to a biscuit dunking simulator. It is, quite simply, the ultimate to-do list.
Of course, a messy larder is totally useless, isn't it? You can't find the flour because it's stuck behind some out-of-date jam. That's where backlog refinement comes in. It's just the essential, ongoing housekeeping. It's where the team adds more detail to the items, figures out roughly how much effort they'll take, and puts them in the right order. A tidy larder makes for a happy team for sure.
Right, our larder is organized, looking spick and span. Now it's time for the team to decide what they're actually going to bake first.
Now this is a really important difference to get your head around. The product backlog, our larder, that's like the entire cookbook. It's got every recipe we could ever want to make. But the sprint backlog, that's the specific recipe card for this week's cake. It's the focused, detailed plan for what the team is actually going to create in this next cycle of work, which we call a sprint.
The team puts that recipe card together during an event called sprint planning, and they basically do it by answering 3 big questions. First, why is this bake important? That becomes the sprint goal. Second, what can we actually make? This is where they go to the larder and pick out a few top priority items. And third, how are we going to make it? This is where the team comes up with their own plan to turn those ingredients into a finished, valuable product.
Okay, the recipe is chosen, the oven is preheating, and it's time to get baking. But how does the team make sure they all stay in sync while they're working?
Well, they have what's called a daily scrum. And no, this isn't some long, drawn-out, boring status meeting. It's a quick 15-minute huddle. Think of it as a quick cuppa and a chat to make sure everyone's on the same page. Each person just quickly shares what they managed to finish yesterday, what they're planning to do today, and crucially, if anything's getting in their way. It's fast, it's focused, and it keeps things moving.
And here's the thing that really matters. At the end of all this work, the team produces an increment. This is a real, usable, valuable piece of the final product. For our team, it's not just a bowl of batter or some half-baked idea. No, it's a finished, working feature of the app that somebody could actually use. It's a perfectly baked cupcake, ready to go.
And this really gets to the heart of how Agile works, using both iterative and incremental approaches. So iterative is all about refining your work based on feedback. It's like Leonardo da Vinci showing an early sketch of the Mona Lisa to his client and asking, so what do you think of this so far? Incremental, on the other hand, is about delivering a fully finished piece of the puzzle, like completing one perfect section of the final painting. The Scrum increment is exactly that. It's a finished, valuable piece of the final product.
Ding! The timer's gone off, the bake is out of the oven. Now it's the moment of truth. It is time for the judging. This is the sprint review. You've got to think of this as the big showstopper challenge on the Great British Bake Off.
The Kentish Kitchen team presents their finished increment, their delicious cupcake, to all their stakeholders. And it's not just a demo, it's a proper working session to get that all-important feedback on the product. What did they love? What needs a little tweak?
But hold on, judging the cake is only half the story. Right after that, the team has the sprint retrospective. Now, if the review was about the what, the actual product, the retrospective is all about the how, the process. It's where the team gets together to chat about how they can improve their recipe and their teamwork for the next bake.
And what this does is it creates this brilliant cycle of continuous improvement, sometimes called Kaizen. A retrospective is absolutely not a moaning session. It's a constructive wash-up. The team figures out what went well, what problems they ran into, and they agree on 1 or 2 real things they can do to improve in the very next sprint. It ensures they're always getting just a little bit better.
So, there we have it. From a foggy disaster to a show-stopping success. Let's pull everything together onto one simple recipe card you can take away.
Okay, here's your takeaway. The product backlog, that's your larder or your master cookbook. Sprint planning, that's you choosing this week's recipe. The sprint backlog is the actual recipe card you'll follow. The daily scrum is your quick morning huddle. The increment is the beautiful finished cake itself. The sprint review is when you present it for judging, and the sprint retrospective, that's all about improving the recipe for next time. Follow these steps and, well, Bob's your uncle.
So, we've given you the recipe books and we've walked you through the basic steps. The only real question left is, what brilliant thing are you going to create?